everybody, and welcome back to the Entertainment Brick Show. So today we are continuing my LEGO DC ideas for sets and minifigure series, video series, whatever. Now, again, we're going to do another minifigure series today. This is going to be the LEGO DC Superheroes minifigure series 2. Of course, there was originally a DC minifigure series that came out at the beginning of 2020, I think it was, and I loved it. I personally loved that minifigure series so much. It came with so many great characters. Bring us new characters. We've got us Metamorpho, Huntress, Batmite, Bumblebee, like really cool characters. Then they also gave us some really amazing versions of characters that we've gotten before, like the Joker from the Dark Knight Returns, I think it was. That animated movie. He looked incredible. What a great figure. It also gave us the first Detective Comics Batman, which looks incredible. I think it was New 52 Superman and classic Wonder Woman, really cool characters. Classic Cheetah as well. Came with amazing characters. Amazing characters. Really loved that minifigure series a lot. And now, here's my idea for a sequel. Please actually make a sequel, LEGO. I put down 20 minifigures because I made this a while ago. But if it's just 12, I don't even care. As long as it's like a DC minifigures series, that's cool. I'm into that. So again, it can be 12 minifigures like it usually is. But in my list here, there's 20. There's 20 minifigures. So I'm excited to get into it. So why don't we do that now? This doesn't actually really have any different versions of characters that we've gotten before. These are actually technically all brand new characters, basically. That we've never gotten before in a LEGO set or any LEGO minifigure series for DC. So, very excited. Let's get into it. Here we go, ready to run through them. We're starting with figure number 1, and that is Agent Grayson. So, of course, in the comics, these are all comic book characters, by the way. Dick Grayson became an agent and had this agency suit, basically. And, yeah, Agent Grayson. Why not? Different version of Dick Grayson, I guess, just to include here, because I thought he was kind of cool. And he would just come with a handgun, regular kind of pistol handgun for his accessory. Then figure number 2 is the Spoiler, which, if I'm not mistaken, was one of... Oh, I forget her name. I don't remember her alter ego name, but it was I think it was one of the Batgirls ended up becoming the Spoiler. I forget her name. But she basically has stick weapons, similar to Nightwing. I think she does like stick weapons for her accessory. But she's a very cool character design. Purple design for the suit, I believe it is, a purple hood, mask, cape, and stuff like that. Very exciting. Very cool figure to have here. Figure number 3 is Booster Gold, because of course, why not? I would love to get a Booster Gold minifigure. I mean, they already have a design for him. They had him in. I think they had him in DC Supervillains, and I know he was in Lego Batman 3 as well. I don't know if he was in Batman 2. I don't think he was, but I know he was in Batman 3 for sure. So they already have a design for Booster Gold. Please make him into a minifigure, because it would be perfect just to have, because he's such a cool character. And, of course, his accessory would, of course, be Skeets, who is his little companion character. And it would probably be utilizing that, egg piece with just, the gold and, red printing on it to kind of represent Skeets. So yeah, he'll be included in there. Then figure number 4 is Alan Scott Green Lantern. And I really loved that they included that other Green Lantern character, Baz. I don't remember the last name, but Baz something, who is the Green Lantern character that they included in the first DC minifigure series. Very cool Green Lantern character. And why not include another one in here? Because why not? So Alan Scott Green Lantern would be thrown in here. He would come with, of course, the lantern piece that the other lantern from the first minifigure series would include, or had rather, and he would also, of course, come with a ring as well. Just kind of like regular lantern stuff, but having another Green Lantern to add to the collection, I think, would be kind of cool. Then the next character is a character that I'm actually surprised we've never gotten before in a LEGO, and that, well, I guess not these days, because it's all Batman these days, but, before, is Zatanna. Zatanna, the magician. So she would come with a wand piece as her accessory. She would obviously have her full black coat and everything like that. And she would also come with her hat and everything, and probably an interchangeable hair piece as well, because she kind of switches between the two. It's either hair piece or hair or the magician hat sort of. So I think having a Zatanna minifigure would be really cool to include in here. Figure number 6, this was, well, I guess actually we've never really gotten Dr. Fate before, but I'm just reminiscing of the Dr. Fate tower leak, which, still breaks my heart to this day, but figure number 6 would be Dr. Fate, because I at this point, with that leak from the beginning of the year, and Black Adam having Dr. Fate as a character in that movie, I just want Dr. Fate. I want Dr. Fate in here. Like, I want a Dr. Fate minifigure really bad at this point. So that's why I threw him in here. Dr. Fate would obviously have like his gold helmet, his blue outfit with the gold on it, and like the cape and everything. Probably more of a classic design for Dr. Fate here. And his accessory would of course be the Ankh piece that that's his like symbol when he uses his magic and stuff like that. Yeah, I really want Dr. Fate as a character, like a minifigure, really, really badly. I just think that it's like a no-brainer character to include because he's such a cool character with a cool design too. And yeah, I would really like to have Dr. Fate somewhere in Lego. I don't care how I have to get him, but I want him really bad. So Dr. Fate is figure number 6. Number 7 is Power Girl. This is obviously going to be, comics Power Girl. She'll have the red cape, white suit, and everything like that. And she'll probably just, I don't really know what to do with Power Girl for her, like, accessory, but I just said, like, a star piece, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't really think of anything. I was kind of struggling to think of something, but Power Girl would be a great character to go alongside Superman, Supergirl, like, those kinds of, like, very powerful flying characters with laser eyes and stuff like that. And I think she would be a great inclusion in here in this minifigure series as another hero character to have on the list, basically. The next character, number 8, is going to be Black Lightning. Now, there has been a version of Black Lightning before in LEGO, and that was a Comic-Con exclusive Black Lightning figure from the TV series, the CW show, which I never watched, by the way. I don't watch the CW shows anymore, but yeah, Black Lightning has been made into a minifigure before, but why not get an actual comics-like version of him in this minifigure series? And of course, his accessory would be electricity pieces, because that makes the most sense for him, considering he's all about, using electricity as his power set. But yeah, Black Lightning, I think, like, his classic design from the comics, I think could work really well in a minifigure series. And plus, I never got the Comic-Con version of Black Lightning, considering it's, like, wildly expensive. So, next character, number 9. This character I'm very excited about. And even this kind of fits with, like, the whole Batman character theme, too. So I don't know why we haven't gotten him. Maybe because he's too, like, dark, too aggressive, maybe. Azrael. Azrael is a very cool Batman villain, somewhat, like, anti-hero, kind of. I got introduced to Azrael through the Batman Arkham games, and I think he's a cool character. He's such a cool designed character, too, with, like, all, like, the white and everything, the hood, and the giant cape, and, I think for his accessory, he would just come with a sword, because that's kind of like one of his staples, is he always usually has a sword, and I just think he's such a cool-looking character, great design, great suit and everything, and I think having him in a LEGO minifigure would be amazing. I would love to put him next to, like, Batman, and, stuff like that, and maybe even having, like, fight Batman and stuff. I don't know. I really want this figure very badly, and that's why I threw him in here. Then for figure number 10 here, halfway through already, is Adam Strange. Now, Adam Strange is like this space character that basically flies to space and like kind of, flies through the cosmos and protects them. He has a very cool design. He has a jetpack, and he has like this red kind of like suit design with like I think a little bit of white from what I remember. I'd have to go back and take a look at him, but I made this minifigure series a while ago, because actually it was probably like 2 years ago when the first one came out. I immediately started thinking of ideas for a sequel. And for Adam Strange, his accessory would be a blaster piece, probably like similar to the usual like ray gun piece with like the 2 studs on the side and like the stud in the middle to put some sort of blast piece into it. And then he would also come with, his jetpack as well, because he does kind of fly around with a jetpack, and obviously his helmet with like the visor and everything. So he'd be a very cool, detailed minifigure to include in here for this minifigure series. So that's why I include him in here. Next character, I couldn't really decide between 2 speedster characters, because I wanted a speedster in this minifigure series, but I really didn't know which one to include, because there's a lot. And I wanted him to be a villain as well. So we already got Reverse Flash before in a actual set before, but we've never gotten Savitar, never gotten Dark Flash, and we've never gotten Godspeed, or I think actually Zoom either. So there's a lot of speedster characters to include here. So I kind of just put on my notes like speedster villain character, whether again that be Zoom, Savitar, Godspeed, Dark Flash, whoever. I don't really care, but I want like some cool speedster villains. I think could be kind of cool. Considering we did get in the first minifigure series, we got Jay Garrick Flash, who is kind of like more of a classic Flash design. Now I want like a villain to go alongside that minifigure. So any speedster villain really. Personally, in my opinion, I would want to go with Godspeed because I just think he has a really cool design. So I would say him, but any speedster villain I could care less as long as it's a cool one. And regardless of who it is, their accessories would be like those lightning kind of bolt pieces. Who did that come? I think Jay Garrick Flash had those pieces to connect to the back of him. So like when he was running, it looked like there was lightning coming from the back of him. So like those like little electricity looking lightning bolt pieces, I think it would fit perfectly for a speedster character. And depending on the character that is chosen, it would just match the color. So if it was like Savitar, it would be like the blue lightning pieces. If it was Zoom, it would be. Did he have blue lightning too? I forget. I don't remember. But if it was like Godspeed, it would be like the white yellow kind of lightning pieces. So that's basically that figure there. Any kind of cool speedster. Then the next character is this one is just because I was watching Young Justice at the time, and that's Sportsmaster. Regardless, Sportsmaster is kind of a cool villain, and they definitely made him a cool villain in Young Justice. But having him in here would be kind of cool. Just kind of a cool villain character to include here. And knowing Lego, it might be a little bit more lighthearted of a character or a villain name than like I don't know who's like a very like Savitar. Sportsmaster sounds a little bit more lighthearted, so maybe I think Lego would probably go with this. But Sportsmaster with his accessory would just be like a baseball bat because sports. So yeah, that's that figure. Next figure is another actual Flash villain from what I remember, and that is Mr. Twister, who I like now at this point I just kind of like searched like super deep into the comics to look for some more obscure villain characters who I think would be kind of cool to include here. So Mr. Twister, he kind of controls the weather at times. He's able to control like tornadoes and things like that. Speaking of which, a cool character to include in here would be Red Tornado. I just thought about that. He's not on this list, but now that I just thought about that, Red Tornado would be a great character to have on this minifigure series. But he's not included. Anyways, Mr. Twister, he controls weather, whatever. He would just come with a staff as his accessory, and he'll be his full-blown comics look. And then figure number 14 is Cobra, who, sounds pretty close to what you're probably thinking of. It's a guy in like a Cobra suit, Cobra outfit, sort of. And they would have like this Cobra cane that the character of the minifigure would come with as like the accessory. The next character, figure number 15 here, is Shimmer, who would really just not come with anything, but it would just be like the comic design of Shimmer. And she's also a villain, I believe. Because again, I wrote this like 2 years ago. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, who is this character? Because they're like very obscure and I don't know them very well. The next figure here is Black Spider. I do know Black Spider. And he has like this purple suit design. And I think he worked with Batman and was like a villain of Batman from what I remember. And he has like goggles and stuff like that. No like specific superpowers, but he would just kind of be like another character to add here, another villain character. And his accessory would be like a machine gun. And then figure number 17 here is Blue Snowman. He would come with an ice stick, like blaster piece here. Blue Snowman, again, I wrote this 2 years ago. I couldn't name. Once I start doing editing for this video, I'll kind of like go back through and find pictures of him and just see what he looks like. But from definitely some sort of ice character to include here, obviously. But any Batman or any DC villain at all would be very welcome to this minifigure series. Any DC character at all would be very welcome to this minifigure series. Next character, number 18, is Queen of Fables, who, this is probably because I was watching Harley Quinn around that time as well, and the animated Harley Quinn show, which actually I haven't finished season 4, now that I remember. I gotta finish that. But anyways, Queen of Fables, she would obviously have like that full design. I guess I was probably basing it off of, the Harley Quinn animated series when I was writing this out. She would have like the big bulky armor, and then she would also come with like the book, the Fable book. And I think she also had like a scepter as well, so probably throw that in there too. Figure number 19 is Psycho Pirate, and the reason, there's actually somewhat of a story to this. The only reason Psycho Pirate is really in here and that I know about him is because I originally thought, oh no, what's that guy called? The guy from the first minifigure series who was wrapped up in the chain, and he, had like a somewhat like a mask on, sort of. He had like green capes and stuff like that. Regardless, I forget his name, but I thought he was Psycho Pirate. I thought that was his name, and when I learned that it wasn't, I'm like, oh, well, Psycho Pirate could just go in my minifigure series then. So that's kind of the reason why he's in here. And I even put that his accessory would be a chain, just like that guy from the first minifigure series. Again, I don't remember that character's name, but that is the reason why Psycho Pirate's in here. But then again, he was also in the Lego DC Supervillains game, so there's also another reason. So there you go. Then the final minifigure here, and I also have a story for this one as well. This minifigure is the Fisherman, and this is an Aquaman villain. And this is the only reason he's in this is because I was also probably watching the Aquaman show, the Aquaman King of Atlantis animated show, which I did like a little mini review of on the channel somewhere. Go check that out if you haven't. Very cool show. Loved Aquaman King of Atlantis, and he was a villain in it. The Fisherman was a villain in it, and he's also a comics Aquaman villain. So why not include him in here, right? And his accessory would be a fishing rod, because of course he's a fisherman. So there you have it. That is all. That is like my personal Lego DC Superheroes minifigure series 2, the sequel. I would love for another minifigure series from Lego DC, just because why not? I don't care if it's 12 figures. I don't care if it's 50 minifigures, which will obviously never happen. But you know what I mean. I will buy the minifigure series just to get these figures and support DC that way. But yeah, I really want another minifigure series. Another DC minifigure series would be great. I don't care if none of these figures are on here, or whatever. But as long as we get another one, that would make me very, very happy. But those are my ideas for minifigures for the Lego DC Supervillains minifigure series 2. If it ever happens, hopefully it does. But yeah, that's really it. So if you enjoyed that video, do the common YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.